Dear friends, welcome. Today we have another webinar. I'm Alexey Ognev, CEO of the DigiU ecosystem. Today we will discuss recent developments and address concerns from our audience. We will also look into plans for August, as beyond the July activities, extra rounds, and Drop X events across various projects, we have a multitude of events planned for August and September. Let's briefly go through this. Additionally, as always, for our new audience, which has grown considerably over the past 3 months starting from May, and now, as July concludes, we are witnessing a significant surge in interest in our project. Thus, our webinars include an introduction to our ecosystem. I aim to present information in a way that allows new participants and users to navigate the webinar, offering them an insight into recent events, objectives, and immediate plans, key points of interest relevant to them. This also provides direction on how to further explore the project, which webinar to watch next, the main events that have taken place, and why they are here overall. This has been a consistent effort over the past 3 months. We dedicate substantial time to this with the team, producing general posts to help newcomers orient themselves and understand the project's growth trajectory and objectives, which have long been established. The project becomes increasingly relevant as new participants join, sometimes with different expectations. And this is always beneficial for a project, including ours. I also have personal thoughts on how such communities will evolve and how the DigiU ecosystem can influence this evolution towards a more conscious state of community awareness and significance. I have discussed this in previous webinars, which I recommend watching. Overall, our predictions are coming to fruition, which is encouraging. Now, I will attempt to describe in a conversational tone what we've been up to in July, the decisions made, why they were made, and how the audience has responded. We will explore the outcomes of these decisions and how they will unfold going forward, focusing our attention accordingly. Firstly, on June 30, we concluded a share sale, registering over 12,000 new individuals in June, with more than 2,700 becoming investors, leading to a vast number of support requests. Many who registered just a day ago are still figuring things out and are eager to invest, with over 2,000 requests in support services and personal messages across all possible communication channels. These new individuals joined us due to our community's significant expansion activities. They caught the last train, so to speak. We anticipated the hype, but perhaps underestimated its intensity. Therefore, it was a balanced and prudent decision to announce an extra round and conduct it in a limited fashion. This truly is the last chance to become a co-owner. If you are registering now, make your decision quickly. If you registered in June or July, this is your last opportunity to purchase a share package in the DigiU ecosystem. Packages range from as little as $250 to a maximum of $30,000, with a limit per person. There are even starter packages for those who have never invested before, found in the bonus task section for $10. This offers an easy entry for individuals to join the DigiU ecosystem and receive a drop. I will talk about this in sequence shortly. Thus, the significant decision of July was this extra round. It's a limited number of shares and time to become co-owners of the DigiU ecosystem. Particularly noteworthy is the recent opportunity in personal accounts to restore installment plans. You enter, make specific payments, and restore your installment plan. The company meets you halfway, understanding life's various situations. This opportunity will close after July. This month is your last chance to restore your installments by pressing a button. Afterward, it will be impossible. Keep this in mind, especially considering that the 10 million shares allocated for the extra round include those restored installments. Naturally, this might prompt everyone to rush to restore their installments. However, it's not always so straightforward. We record several tens, sometimes up to 100, installment restorations per month, plus some cease payments, and so on. It's a complementary process that doesn't always affect the total number of shares sold, but provides an opportunity for those who couldn't pay before, or who have reconsidered now seeing new prospects. Thus, we are in a position of accommodation. We understand everyone and offer opportunities. But after August 1st, this opportunity will close for everyone. Hence, we maintain such a balance and count on understanding and the inevitability of what not to expect from us. First, no extensions, no additional extra rounds. As for other situations, such as restoring an installment because you were on a business trip and couldn't pay in time, this will no longer be possible. Unfortunately, it has ended, and it had to end at some point. Officially, this will end on August 1st. Take this seriously. And obviously, for us, for the ecosystem, this becomes a priority. As we discussed in the last webinar, where contracts amounting to about $3,200,000 in installments remain to be paid. The total amount is substantial. However, considering that a certain percentage of installments are not paid, we understand that it could be halved at minimum. If we want the ecosystem to have a clear safety cushion and achieve all the goals we set, we clearly need to strive for a payment rate of installments to be around 90–80%. We will thus secure this financial stability cushion and achieve our objectives set for 2025. I remind you that by the end of 2025, by the end of the second phase, the venture fund phase, we will have achieved many successes. These include an increase in projects in the fund's portfolio, commercial projects of the ecosystem. These are potentially the first projects to go public. This also concerns Ava, and everyone following knows approximately when it will happen. Therefore, we are moving towards a state by the end of 2025 where the ecosystem's projects will generate sufficient profit to cover all ecosystem expenses. This will be a state of financial security. Plus, we calculate, we understand how to make this happen and what is needed. We are moving towards these projects starting to bring in profit, which will be accumulated, naturally converted and expressed in dividends. Thus, the year 2025 could be well the year when we will begin paying dividends again. I'm once again convinced that the decision made last year, when we understood that all the money we earned, one way or another, in wealth, in deposits, should be directed towards development. We are now convinced, we see, that the number of projects is growing. The number of potentially commercially successful products is increasing. The likelihood of the entire ecosystem success is rising. Thanks to the actions taken, as I said, dividends may well be paid in 2025. This is precisely the opportunity that will likely interest those who are joining us now, as those who've been with us for a long time obviously know that from the first year of the project's existence, we released the first commercial product, which is still operational and profitable, standing solid. This gives us confidence and numerous positive benefits to the ecosystem. We have distributed dividends about 6 times, amounting to roughly $400,000, if my memory serves me right. It's quite an achievement, but for us, it represents a fundamental business approach. It's something we didn't necessarily have to do, but we chose to demonstrate to the world that we could do it. This confirms we are on the right track. If there were years when we couldn't distribute dividends, it would prompt us to question if our approach was correct, or why none of our projects could find a profitable business model for such a long time. It's a point of pride that we've been able to do this from the first year. For all newcomers who are registering now, you can look forward to possibly hearing about dividends next year, along with other exciting news. However, that will come later. It's likely we will also discuss some corporate restructuring this fall or winter, once we have a clear model. Currently, we are exploring several development scenarios. We strive to select an approach that suits our budget, as these activities are not cheap, and to establish a legal framework that is comprehensible, convenient, and takes into account the interests of a multinational company. Our investors and shareholders of DigiU span 147 countries, while users who received a share as a gift are likely registered from 184 countries. We aim to consider the interests of the majority, ideally everyone. When we review the legal frameworks proposed to us, we ensure these interests are accommodated, and we evaluate the costs and who else in the market might be using similar methods. This involves extensive legal work. We plan to discuss this more transparently in September, and will propose 2 or 3 schemes that we finalized around the company's 5th anniversary, deciding then on the structure that will consider everyone's interests. I've heard numerous suggestions from lawyers and our partners from various countries. Many suggest tokenizing everything. But there are many drawbacks and fewer resources available for such initiatives. The timelines for listings and similar IPO activities are significantly closer, yet many aspects still go unconsidered. Hence, we are evaluating all possible schemes, and this update is part of that development. The information about our company's reorganization is forthcoming. All these efforts are to better position the company for its next steps, which may include an IPO, evolving as a closed corporation with regular dividends payments, and so on. Ultimately, everything hinges on the profitable business models of the projects in our portfolio. The entire ecosystem is involved. As you may have noticed, we have our own projects that we conceive and develop internally, initiated in our lab and funded by the venture fund. These projects begin to lead their own lives. Here, we can rely on specific timelines, 3 to 6 months for a project to assemble its team and begin independent operations. They must attract funding, validate their business model, and make their first transactions. Within a year, they should be confidently on their feet, providing their initial hypothesis correct and developing further, like classic startups, by attracting funding and opening various rounds. Or we may realize the hypothesis was unsuccessful. The business model was not found, but the journey itself has accumulated intellectual property and added to our company's professionalism and capitalization, revealing new horizons. This process is unstoppable. We regularly hold strategic sessions, brainstorming, and participate in conferences and top-tier camps, where we, as a fund, represent our model of maximizing profits and shaping the future, because these funds create that future. And Alexander said it many times, that venture fund model is the right one, in terms of profit and in terms of the future. We are deeply embedded in the market situation, because by conducting or participating in startup pitch sessions, we can lead them ourselves, a practice we've maintained for several years. Also, we are often invited ourselves to listen to groups of specialists who have studied the market and competitors and are proposing business models. And then another group comes along with such a vast number of projects with well-developed backstories, whether fantastical or not well considered. They still bring to the table a wealth of ideas, which invariably helps us deeply understand and navigate the market. Occasionally, gems emerge that make it to our launchpad and into our venture fund, which we can discuss openly or not. Overall, our portfolio is growing. The model of the venture fund and this second stage, years 23, 24, and 25, are showing that we are indeed accelerating. Yes, the ecosystem is expanding, and we have many opportunities. Most importantly, each project in the fund and incubated by us has the potential and probability to become a unicorn. Looking at what we do, the profits from completed transactions and initial public offerings significantly cover the invested funds of the entire ecosystem and specifically the fund. With each day, each pitch session, and each exhibition, we become more convinced of our correct path and already see the exits by the end of 2025. This is crucial, as it allows us to ensure our financial cushion with contracts and shares suffices to reach that point. It's an ideal state when we've stopped, formed a list of shareholders, and everyone knows each other, all having passed KYC, provided accurate data, and choosing the company's form. We are all moving towards expansion and the distribution of profits, which, from 2025, should be apparent in significant amounts. This is an overview for our new audience. You've heard some terms: fund, second stage, and so on. Be sure to check the webinars available on this channel. Ask your questions in the chats. And of course, look at the projects which are at the forefront. Continuing on the subject of projects and delving into the ecosystem, the bonus task section is updated regularly. Right now, it's structured in a way that motivates people to learn or try to offer you a reward for completed actions in a form many are now accustomed to, by following our links subscribing to our resources, liking, commenting, and viewing, you benefit the ecosystem. And naturally, you are rewarded. A standard model that is currently yielding results in the market. Thus, the task section in recent months, June and July, has come to the forefront in terms of project engagement, becoming the most popular page. We record hundreds, already thousands of completed tasks. What does this entail for a newcomer? You are given a path. You watch, for instance, Ava, look at the fund, the Launchpad, Apato, watch a webinar, and receive instant rewards. We verify your visits, subscriptions, and everything else. And you form an understanding of the tremendous work behind the project. After this, a newcomer or someone who has yet to invest, and there are quite a few, can participate. If there are around 160,000 or more people registered over the period, with about 22,000 investors, there is a gap of those who haven't engaged with the project in terms of making a purchase. There are many reasons for this. Some didn't understand, some got distracted, and so forth. Now, this easy entry allows you to participate in a drop from these projects. Because for these actions, we immediately award shares of the ecosystem, thus expanding the number of company shareholders and users of the projects. This is a very important process. It's important to understand that if you purchase a $10 package, you are included in the calculations. This allows you to receive an immediate reward and participate in Drop X on slightly more favorable terms. I will explain this shortly. As a result, we've received a large number of positive reactions from our projects, with many people transitioning to their social networks. Questions are being asked. Registrations made on websites, wallets, and cards are being opened. There is active exploration and popularization of the project. Understandably, it's summer now. Obviously, July and August are generally quiet in the markets, with little happening worldwide. It's time for learning. And now, I will tell you about what will happen in August. Partners who provide us with these tasks also provide the reward. From this emerged the idea of Drop X, which is due to take place in the next few days. I will now give you the exact date, because obviously we decided to extend it slightly until the end of August. So, July 31st is the last day we will record participants for Drop X, with the allocation happening on the 5th. This is necessary, so that we have those 5 days from the 1st to the 5th to check everything, because we don't want to later correct and process some applications, which occasionally happens when someone's contribution was not recorded, or they think they did something. In any case, we always receive a number of support requests after any activity, which we verify. Sometimes there is an inaccuracy on our side, maybe. More often, it's on the part of someone who misunderstood something, didn't click something, didn't read something fully, but nonetheless left a request, which we check. So again, we've already announced this in a post. Drop X participation has been extended for 5 days, because new tasks are going out. People are registering. The extra round opened because the activity of people is still growing. Therefore, limiting them in this is not the right decision. So there are 5 more days to participate, and expect on the 5th. What will it consist of? Prizes from all project participants. Somewhere, I think, will be gifted things that have not yet been given. Because Launchpad, Capitalist, other projects saw great interest in the product and offered us certain privileges. Bonuses that were only with us. Yes, it's a partner project. Yes, it's even not a partner project, it's an ecosystem project. But still, they act in their own interests. It works for its audience. It has its own offers. The project's main goal is to expand the ecosystem, not just exist within it. Therefore, each project primarily acts in its own interests. We have such partnerships with them, where we provide an audience, and they reward that audience, clearly under early conditions and so forth. This is always in DigiU's interest, if we offer people an early opportunity to engage with the project and use the service, as was the case with Apazo. A fantastic example is DropX, which will be a collection of bonuses from partners, including secret boxes. To participate in DropX, you don't need to pay anything. You complete a free task, subscribe, like, watch some webinars, and immediately receive rewards. You are already part of the group and will receive additional bonuses from the partners on August 5. If you buy a $10 package and perform paid actions, obviously, your contribution is greater. Consequently, you will be rewarded more. Your bonus in the drop will be higher. If you complete tasks for investors, you also receive a secret box. We think there will be additional tasks for partners, and they will have a secret box too. So, besides the drop with a higher multiplier, you will also get a secret box. We've already run this mechanism. Many received cash rewards, bonus rewards, Telegram Premium, and so on. We also aim to surprise you here. So, look forward to August 5th. We'll be watching for reactions. Obviously, it will be more a significant gift that you can physically appreciate, and perhaps it will be money, an opportunity, or an invitation. Overall, expect anything, so to speak. Cards are naturally not disclosed, and we are not saying it will be a car or anything like that. It will be appropriate to your contribution, in line with the ecosystem's policy to provide opportunities and benefits from modern technologies to all people, regardless of their location, interests, and so on. Every person is important. You perform simple actions. You are already a participant. So here probably lies the interest we see in DropX. Once again, we will extend it for 5 days. Everyone will have a chance to participate. From August 1st, no one can buy a new package or restore installments or participate. And on the 5th, the allocation will be made. Also, main dates in August have shifted due to the extra round. This includes the recalculation of shares. We will publish information about the recalculation from August 5th to August 10th. The actual allocation to participants of the first, second, third, fourth snapshot will take place from August 11th to August 15th. These are important dates. We've already written about them. I think everyone is aware, but we will mention them again. So, to be included in the fourth snapshot, make any payment, which will allow you additional opportunities during the share recalculation. Accordingly, we think, though not yet decided, that those who participated in the first, second, third might also be rewarded additionally, simply because they did everything on time. That's great. What awaits us in August in terms of share sales? Obviously, it's a significant month, in which we count very much on the diligent attitude of those who chose to invest in the ecosystem on installments. Timely payment of installments comes to the forefront, and much depends on this. The long-term trend, when we see that more than 50, 60, 70% is being paid, we will see that our community is disciplined, values its commitments, and we can count on our goals being achieved in terms of securing a financial safety cushion and directing it towards the development of the ecosystem and the fund, the development of specific individual projects. Therefore, my sincere recommendation is to fulfill your obligations as we do, on time, sticking to the payment schedule for installments. This is important for the ecosystem. It's important for you. From our side, this will be a marker that we are also doing everything right. Will there be additional incentives? We've already spoken about this. The snapshot mechanism has settled well. It allows the audience to explore other projects besides the ecosystem. And for example, Apato. The last snapshots in May generated a lot of interest. Many happily use Apato's secondary token market and receive rental income in Apato. Soon, we will also distribute the entire rental income for the period from June 4th in the DigiU personal account. And you will regularly receive notifications. Once a week, for example. Rental income will be credited to your number of tokens. This is a pleasant verification of the business model. A certain number of tokens is credited, a rental income is made regularly, and so on. Those who wish can receive a whole token in the personal account of Apato and do whatever they want with them. Those who don't want to, they will be stored in the ecosystem, where you will gradually receive dividends on another product and project. Apato is now preparing for the next object. These will be buildings under construction. Here, obviously, the returns are higher. There are some specific features. For example, tokens will not go to the secondary market immediately, but only after the object is built. Accordingly, but at the same time, the yield is higher. That is, there are ready-made objects with a yield of 10 to 15% per year. There are buildings under construction with returns of up to 40% per year. In August, I think we will conduct a snapshot to support Apato and give another product. How it is with the building tokens, how convenient or inconvenient, how profitable, unprofitable, and so on. Plus, there will be many events. You will see these links. Essentially, two ecosystems exist, RWA Bank and RWA Marketplace. Apato is a product of the RWA Marketplace ecosystem. Deposits, cards, wallet are products of the RWA Bank ecosystem. There will be cross-promotions that will allow both to figure out and strengthen and gain a more loyal audience. So expected, and actually, special offers on deposits, on profitability. And all this will also be in August. And at the same time, probably the forefront of the ecosystem will be this payment of installments and our such close attention. Therefore, for those who will do everything on time, there will be additional bonuses. Also in August, we will visit the big exhibition in India, Money Expo Mumbai 2024, for the second time. We were invited again. We will also be speakers. We are now deciding on the topics. Me and Alexander E. will be speaking. Maybe someone else from the team. Obviously, there will be a booth. All those who are in India, our partners, friends, make sure to come. Maybe we will hold some additional events for the Indian community. Actually, starting from that exhibition, we so explicitly began to talk about big events, about ecosystem products, about our ideas, and actually, as we expected, started to do this at the right moment, when we have such a stable pool of products. And we are not just talking about dreams and fantasies, but we rely on the already done work. And the effectiveness of such performances and exhibitions is significantly higher. Because when we get there, invitations go right away. For example, to discuss projects with some interesting companies. I think this year will be about the same. What else? A lot of work has been done on the fund. If you visited the site, you can understand it yourself. I probably deliberately don't tell. Not that I don't pay attention, but I encourage you to go to the site, figure it out, look for yourself. At some point, obviously, we will invite Alexander, and he will tell more. Perhaps this will be some video from Money Expo Mumbai. That's how we did it last year. So most likely, it will be in similar way. And not to overload with information now, I encourage you to go to the fund's website. Look, there are a lot of cool names, news, projects, and conclusions can be made only from this. We will do it as always in simple language, following the conference. I think we will not do this earlier, because there are a huge amount of webinars, and we still have a lot of other work. Although, I will be honest, such close communication with you is always a plus. Because we, firstly, answer questions, and during the webinar, I'm always in the chats and try to answer questions. There are some very interesting conversations in general terms, where people praise us in unusual ways, and we respond. From these exchanges, we gain a deeper understanding of our audience. We are sincerely grateful for this, and believe that our chosen path of maintaining close contact with our audience has helped us build such a community with quality partners, opportunities, and resources. It's amazing. The next evolution is for the community to become self-aware and know where it's heading. Regarding the community, that is the direction. What else can I say? Those following my social media might have seen that last week we held a strategic session in Novosibirsk. This was an internal team interaction format. We invited part of the team, defended various projects, delved into plans, and looked ahead, making it a very effective event. Many ideas from there focused on improving team efficiency and exploring new opportunities. There are many activities within the team, which also give us great pride. After these events, we are clearly moving towards some strategic decisions and directions. This includes the company's financial security by 2025 and financial independence by the end of 2025. This involves a focus on project development, all under the concept of liquidity. We earn from projects, attract liquidity and investments into specific areas, extract profits, and grow our capitalization. So, liquidity, money, profit. This forms one development vector. The second factor is the audience. The strategy to expand our audience will continue. For instance, the Capitalist app will soon launch, and hopefully, so will Ava. I haven't revealed any secrets here, but it should be obvious to everyone. This is a trend in audience building. A similar app will later appear in the ecosystem, and we are actively observing, studying, and figuring out how to improve it. This will create opportunities to significantly expand our audience. Currently, we estimate about 160,000 users. Obviously, not all of them are active, and 22,000 investors. So, why not grow our community to 1 million or even 100 million? Yes, the audience will be there. Maybe not fully engaged, but present. They will interact with us, and some will become full partners, investors. The strategy is to expand the audience in today's world with modern capabilities. This is another key focus for us. So, liquidity, everything related to profit, project expansion, and capitalization covers all that we've discussed. You will hear more in the next update. Likely by September, we'll begin speaking more actively about the banking and marketplace ecosystems. What will emerge by the end of the year, and the agreements we formed as we continue to explore and study these projects. Another significant event, also aimed for September, is likely already anticipated by many. I've covered all topics. Drop X, and an additional 5 or 6 days until the end of the month are available for participation, completing tasks and receiving secret boxes. Your chance for rewards will increase, and simply, the rewards will be greater. From the August 5th to the 10th, we will publish recalculation data. From the August 11th to the 15th, share recalculations will take place. Mid-August brings the exhibition in India, and we will focus on timely payment of installments and so on. Accordingly, we do everything to support our existing projects. Snapshots may be launched, I think with a high probability. Any action within the ecosystem is always rewarded. Thank you for this webinar. Please like, share, comment, and ask your questions. This is what we need and what greatly helps us. Thank you and all the best.